Spokane Storytime. Have you ever wondered how Winthrop, Washington turned into this old Wild West town as we know it today? Well, let's go find out. Winthrop, Washington was named after a guy named Theodore Winthrop, who became famous in the 1850s because he explored the Pacific Northwest. He wrote a book called The Canoe and Saddle, which inspired a lot of people to move and settle up here in the Northwest, especially in 1893 when the gold rush happened up here in the Mattow Valley. And in 1891, they opened the Duck Brand Saloon, which is now the Winthrop Town Hall. And Jack's Three-Fingered Saloon here is actually the longest standing saloon in Washington State. And one of the first homes built in this area still stands. It's actually now the Schaefer Museum, which is this really cool historic spot. You can come down here and check out all this old farming equipment and read about the history. But this building's especially interesting because it was the first building that actually established this area as a town. And it got the nickname the Castle because it was built up here overlooking the city of Winthrop on this cliff. Can't do a story on Winthrop without mentioning Guy Waring. He was actually the one who first settled this area. He's the one who set up the Duck Brand Saloon as well as the trading post here. He really was the one who made this the hub of the area and all the industry up here with the cattle ranching and whatnot and agriculture. He set up the irrigation ditches and he pretty much established the entire city. So you got to give credit to him even though the city is not named after him. But what a lot of people don't know about is what happened in 1968 when all the apple trees froze. You see the temperatures dropped way below freezing and it not only ruined the harvest for that year, but it killed all the apple trees. And so Winthrop went into an economic decline. That was their only cash crop. The city had to get together and come up with a plan for a new way to create an income. And that's when they came up with the Wild West theme. They looked at how Leavenworth had remodeled their city to a Bavarian theme. You know, Leavenworth was strategic. They knew that Highway 2 was getting finished in 1960, and so they came out with their Bavarian theme in 1962 for tourism to, you know, fix their economy there in Leavenworth because it was so remote, just like how Winthrop is so remote up here in the Cascades. So when the Great Freeze happened, Highway 20 was already being built, so the town got together and decided, you know what, when this freeway finishes, we're going to open up our own themed tourist town. And so they actually hired the same architect that did Leavenworth. Winthrop knew it would be the first time that they would be connected to Western Washington and it would be a tourist opportunity. And so when they finally opened in 1972, they had the wooden boardwalks, they remodeled 22 different buildings, they put up the false fronts on all the buildings and had it all themed. And if you're looking for a fun day trip about 3 hours from Spokane, I highly recommend the Schaefer Museum and go back in time and check out all the history. It's actually a really cool spot. I've never been here before, so I'm glad I stopped by. And now you know how Winthrop became the Wild West town that we know it as today.